Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Wednesday the 20th of May.
Coming up on today's Rise and Shine Rwanda.
We talk to some award-winning Rwandan geniuses.
Arnold sits down with female basketball star Sandra Cantore.
And we have a recipe for anyone who's a fan of sweet, sweet meat. Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahario. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you all the latest news, business, and sports headlines from here in Rwanda and, of course, around the world. And the Rise and Shine team with us are here in studio.
The beautiful team.
There's a beautiful team, of course. And speaking of beautiful, Fidelis, what do you have for us in the world of business?
Well, foodstuff prices have been going crazy. Everyone's complaining about it. I know my parents are. So we get to talk about that in business today.
All right, looking forward to that. I definitely need
I'm hungry.
some answers.
Right.
All right, and Arnold, what do we have in the world of sports?
It's the basketball part of the season, and again, I sit down with a superstar. She's the pivot of the Rwanda national team, Sandra Cantore.
That might get Makeda to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I think so. Good idea. Good idea.
Right.
All right. Well, all that and more is still to come. But first, Rise and Shine story of the day.
They are the real deal. They are International Golden Climate Olympiad gold medal winner Ishimwe Karimba and bronze medal winning brothers Peter and Patrick Ejiofor. The competition was held in Mombasa a couple weeks ago and involved 160 projects from about 25 countries. Organic insecticides, gorilla conservations, they are just brilliant. And we guess the world too agrees. Take a look. It's not every day that you come across primary school students with an IQ that makes you question yours. Meet Ishimwe Karimba and brothers Peter and Patrick Ejiofor. Ishimwe is convinced an organic homemade insecticide derived from pyrethrum is one of the solutions to keep our environment cleaner, and the Ejiofor brothers have come up with a project on gorilla conservation that will make even our very own RDB experts envious. Hard to believe that they're 6 and 8.
How they're being treated, how people hunt them down for rituals and meat, that they should stop doing this because so they cannot be extinct from this world. Let's start with our ideas. Then I was passing around ideas like conservation of gorillas. Then me and my brother, we decided to do it.
The world needs an organic insecticide because synthetic insecticides are harming our environment and also harming us, giving us problems in breathing and many other diseases.
Recently, at the yearly International Golden Climate Olympiad held in Mombasa and involving 160 projects from about 25 countries, Ishimwe came out on top, his insecticide project winning the gold medal, and both Peter and Patrick won bronze with their gorilla conservation one.
Winning the medals has taught us that this is very important, that people should know more about this to help stop it from being overboard, from going overboard.
This is not the first time students from Kigali's Hope Academy make Rwanda proud, as other students from the school won a bronze medal in the same contest last year. This year, the students are also listed among the finalists for Genius USA, another global contest, and will next month travel to Bucharest, Romania to participate in the Infometrics competition. The future could not be brighter for them. Regis Isheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. Yesterday we had the three geniuses in studio here, and I started by asking them about those projects, those award-winning projects. Take a look. And how you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Do you guys know that we're really, truly proud of you guys of what you've accomplished?
Yeah.
All right, how did it feel? But before we get into the projects and what got you guys to win, how did you feel when you won? Who did you want to dedicate your win to first?
For me, I wanted to dedicate my win to my grandmother and my parents because they helped me very much in what I was doing, and I wouldn't have gotten gold without their help and support.
All right, Peter and Patrick, who did you want to dedicate your win to?
I want to dedicate it to my parents because they're the people who didn't give up on us when sometimes we don't used to do that much work, and they keep on telling us to improve. Motivators.
It's the same thing for you?
Yeah.
All right, now let's get into it. Ishimne, I mean, your thing was basically you're trying to explain to everybody that they need to embrace the environment a bit more and to clean it a bit more. Tell us about your project.
My project was organic insecticide, and how it helped the environment was that when people use synthetic insecticides, they harm our environment. Organic insecticides don't harm our environment. Synthetic insecticides also harm us, causing respiratory disorders and development of some cancers. And organic insecticide does not affect any person or anything in any way.
Now, when I first spoke to you the other day when we met and you told me about organic insecticide, it was my first time hearing about it. What got you into it? Who spoke to you about it?
My grandmother is the one who gave me the idea. And so after hearing about it, I researched a little about it, then found out about this place called Musanze in the northern province.
Yes.
And then from there I went to see a scientist who was working on the organic insecticide, and then he answered a lot of questions I had. He told me the components of pyrethrum, and yeah, most of my information comes from that trip, as well as the research I did. All that helped me a lot.
Nice. Patrick and Peter, you guys end up winning the bronze medal. And the reason why you guys won that is because you're all about protecting our gorillas. Mm-hmm. Now, how did you get to think about it? Have you guys been to any of our parks here to actually see them? And if not, what got you into it?
Well, what got us into it is that, because first it was just an idea, and we didn't know much about it. Then we started to research, and we found out that gorillas are very special animals, and we decided to take on that project and do it.
Now, do you know how important gorillas are to Rwanda?
Yeah, because gorillas are one of the tourist attractions. They make generate most of the income to the economy.
All right, nice. Ishimne, now that you've won, what do you want other kids, your classmates, your cousins, or your friends, what do you want them, and other Rwandan kids who are watching you right now, how do you want them to get inspired? What do you want them to do? And you want them to defend other causes and, bring them to the forefront?
They should look at our country and find out what is affecting our country. From that, they should start looking at what they find and then trying to tell people why they shouldn't do something or why they should do something and why it is important, what it does for our country, and it should help our country a lot in those ways.
All right, Peter and Patrick, any plans to go visit gorillas now that you've won this prize? And then what's next? I mean, how much more can you mobilize young people of your age and even elders?
Um, right now, as we've researched, we want to see the gorillas to like see how they've been facing these problems, to like see how these creatures, like how we've been hearing about them so much. We want to see how they are doing it in real life, how they're acting. Instead of just reading it from a book, we want to see it in action. So we will visit the gorillas in the place.
Now, do you have the kind, Ishimne, do we have the kind of insecticides that you're preaching here that we should be using here in Rwanda? Do we already have them?
The industry is working on producing such insecticides, but most people in Rwanda do not know about this sort of insecticide. They have to be taught of it, what the importances are, and why these importances should be taken to action, and if they should use this, what they get out of it. And in fact, Rwanda is now trying to make pyrethrum one of the main income resources. Exports are now starting, and Rwanda is now producing 15% of the world's pyrethrum.
Nice. Now, Peter and Patrick, what else do you guys want to accomplish now that you've done this? I mean, what path are you following in school? Who do you want to become? A doctor, maybe? A lawyer? Like a park conservator? What do you guys want to become?
That's I don't really know yet.
You don't know yet?
Because
What
there are a lot of choices.
All right, and how about you?
I want to be a robotics engineer
Okay, and why is that?
to help the world with robots, like that can help mankind do our things that normal humans can't do now. Like 90% of the ocean has not been discovered. This can be done by robots if we improve them today.
All right, Ishimne, and what do you want to become? What do you want to do later on?
I'd like to become a physicist.
A physician?
I enjoy math a lot.
Oh, okay.
And also like studying stars, and I also like to be a computer programmer, because I enjoy a lot of computer games, but also wonder how do people do this. And yes, I have a very curious mind. I want to find out a lot. So between those two choices, I don't know what to pick.
All right. Have you guys been getting hit on by girls now at your school? You're getting more girls now?
No.
No. All of a sudden, everybody's shy. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Brilliant kids.
They struck me as being very mature for their age. They're in grade 6. I mean, they're 6 and 8. So when you think about what they've been able to accomplish and how much pride they've brought to Rwanda, I mean, it's unbelievable.
While maintaining that cuteness, that's definitely an achievement.
Absolutely.
Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's get to today's business stories, or as I call it, the money. Fidelis Karangwa has the details.
Business stories making headlines today. Shoppers in Kigali will have to spend more money to buy some of the essential items following price increases for a range of commodities over the past 4 weeks. According to a survey conducted recently, prices for foodstuffs have increased by at least 20% over the past month, a situation that could affect low-income earners in the country. It is expected that this trend will continue, especially following the recent increase in fuel pump prices from 810 to 840 Rwandan francs, and that prices could increase further when the dry season starts in a few weeks. A statement from the central bank has indicated that the Rwandan franc continued to make gains last month, depreciating by 0.39% against the dollar, lower than 0.52% depreciation rate recorded in March. Benin attributed the current depreciation of all EAC currencies against the US dollar to the growing strength of the dollar at international level, and noted that the Rwandan franc had a lower depreciation compared to other regional currencies due to its timely intervention in foreign exchange markets. And Gishari Integrated Polytechnic has started a new program to help farmers adopt the use of machines in their agricultural activities so as to improve on productivity. This program is geared at empowering farmers not only through giving them access to mechanization services, but also with skills to operate the machines. It is expected that this school will also help in responding to the skills development challenges facing the country across all sectors of the economy. You have today's business headlines. Sports news coming up next in just a minute with Arnold Quizera.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. I'm Arnold Quizera. Starting with volleyball, with action having resumed in the National Volleyball League over the weekend, Rayon Sports will hope to go to the summit of the league with a win over Licedo di Nyanza in today's evening fixture. Rayon Sport will hope the attacking trio of Nelson, Marshall and Adolphe Mutoni will take them to the top of the table ahead of joint leaders Inatek, who they are currently tied on points with. Both Rayon Sports and Inatek got wins over Chirehe over the weekend, with the latter by way of walkover. Rayon and Inatek are currently tied on 23 points, with APR in third on 21. Moving on to golf, Irishman Rory McIlroy says he has not yet hit top form, but his performance was enough to earn him his first title of the season at the Fargo Championships in the United States. McIlroy, who hit an early dropped shot at the second, was forgotten about by the time he reached the turn, having birdied the putt 5th and 7th. He hit a superb 132-yard approach to within 2 feet of the 12th pin and pitched to a similar distance at the 14th to set up a pair of tap-in birdies and adding another at the 16th hole. The Irishman finished 11 strokes off his nearest rival, Webb Simpson. Sandra Kanore has been the go-to girl of the national women's basketball team and APR basketball club for the past year. We caught up with this budding star to find out what basketball means to her. Aged 21, a former football prospect, Sandra Kanore has been tearing up the nets, but this time on the basketball court. This student has elevated the position of a female point guard, making it her own at both club level for APR Basketball Club and the national women's team. But what led to her to take up the game of basketball?
Nabonye ari umukino mwiza uryoshe gukina ko mbere narawangaga nakina football ndangije ngiye gukina rimwe mbona nyene ni byiza biraryoshe kurusha foot. Papa wanje yakundaga nyene imikino yakinaga na football none akajya bidukundisha cyane najya gukina mu muhanda nkina football akambwira dukina sawa noneho mama wanje yakundaga ko mbivamo arambwira ngo basi zakine basket ni byiza mbijyamo gutyo.
A born winner going by how much she puts into her performances, it's no surprise what her greatest disappointments are.
Ingorane navuga wenda ari amadefete y'amamace nagiye nkina ugasanga ndababaye gutyo nitwitware neza nicyo navuga cyambabazaga ariko nta kindi.
Women's basketball has not been held in the same threshold to the men's counterparts, and Sandra thinks this can change with a few adjustments by Ferraba.
Kubikondesha abana bakoga nibyo ntabwo bakunda gukina ariko nko ku bigo cyane haba hari abana bizi biga mu ma interna bagomba kubakundisha gukina kubera niyo abatoza babohereje ngo baje gukorera amakampu mu bigo niho bakura abakinnyi bakomeye ugasanga nyene barabikunze akaba ibintu by'ama interscolaire abana bagakina bakabonamo abakinnyi gutyo nibwo abana bazamuka.
Known as a two-way guard, Sandra's idol is one of the best to have ever picked up a basketball and share the same title.
Kobe Bryant.
Her rise from Burundi to becoming a basketball star in Kigali was no mean feat, and the 5'1" player has a message for future prospects.
Imikino ni myiza bituma ugira inshuti nta bintu byinshi ujyamo bibi umva ubu witaho gukina ukavuga ndagenda gukina nduhuke nige amasomo nta bintu byinshi bituma unavoyaja unagenda ahantu kure ugira inshuti nyinshi mu bindi bihugu.
Female sports disciplines have been neglected for a long time in Rwanda, and one would hope the determination of players such as Sandra Kandore would translate onto the sports management. Arnold Kwizera, Rise and Shine, Rwanda.
All right, Misaki Nhore, great point guard. Now, does she remind you of Chris Paul, Rajan Rondo? Who does she remind you of?
If I was to compare to an NBA star, I think she's more of a Rondo kind of player because she has more assists than actual shots. She plays for the team. She's a very, very hard-working player.
So she's a real point guard in the true sense, true essence of the term.
She's a traditional point guard. She's the kind who's going to look for the teammate before she takes those shots. She, as she told us, her greatest rival in the league is no longer around, and that's the girl from Ubumwe called Priscilla, who plays now in the States at college. But Sandra is, she's she has set a standard for point guards in Rwanda, you know, for Rwandan Women's Basketball League. She has just gotten her her citizenship in the country, but you feel the way she plays the game of basketball, the way she's devoted to the game of basketball. This is a girl you're going to find on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday morning, training with the senior men's national defense team that's preparing for the military games set to be in Kampala. So you feel she is a perfect example for girls basketball in the country and girl and women's sports. She shows you that anything is possible, especially with having grown up in a generation when there were so many stereotypes regarding women and sports in the country.
Now, have you ever imagined her making it to the States too, like her rival did, and like Priscilla, and going to play there?
I think the advantage Priscilla had was Priscilla is American. That's the first
That's what helped, right?
Yeah, so Priscilla playing for Obume was more of a holiday thing. But Sandra, not yet that level of maybe the WNBA and the likes in the United States. Even her height would be a big disadvantage, being that she's about 5'1". Yeah, which, you know, that can't really work out in the United States with point guards on average at 5'8", 5'7" in the WNBA. But you feel she should be a challenge to so many women basketball players. She can make it somewhere else professionally, maybe in South Africa, maybe in Angola, maybe in Senegal, or Egypt, which are the good female basketball centers in Africa. And you feel if she's exposed enough, if she gets the right coaching, which is still a big disadvantage to her, you know, getting the right gear. She talks about all those challenges, you know, even just pay, because these girls hardly get anything from taking part in this sport. They do it out of love. So I think she will be a perfect role model to the young girls out there. And if Ferraba could incorporate these girls, you know, take them out for camps and try to improve on their skills, they could be the epitome of, you know, women's basketball in the country and maybe and possibly in the region.
All right, let's move on to volleyball. Rayon Sport, Lycée de Nyanza, that's a game a lot of people are waiting for.
Not really a game a lot of people will be waiting for, because it's more or less a walkover. But
you believe it for Rayon Sport,
for
obviously.
Rayon Sport with what they, with, you know,
Mutoni and Archo and
Marshall, Nelson, that attacking trio, you know, with what they have within their camp alone. You know, this is a team that has about 8 players who are part of the Rwandan team that won the Zone 5 volleyball championship. So they are too strong, I think, for Lycée de Nyanza. The downside to this fixture is these teams are both called Nyanza-based teams, with Rayon Sports having its roots in Nyanza. Now, this will be a great derby to have in Nyanza, yeah? But it's going to be held in Kigali, and that, I think, that takes something away from the sport of volleyball, you know,
right.
It takes away something from the fans. When you look at Nelson and Marshall, we have them in the picture right there. It takes away something from the fans, you know, who would have gone out to support their teams in Nyanza, you know, to spread the game of volleyball to these areas. And I think that's the downside of this game. But I think with Eric, Marshall, Adolphe, and Nelson, Rayon Sport should easily go on to be at the top of the summit. And maybe we should look to the playoffs where Inatech might be a threat to them, because Inatech also has its own in Vincent Kasogo,
right.
That 2-meter tall player, you know, and the reigning MVP of the National Volleyball League. So you think Inatech and APR will have something to say when it comes to the playoff times of the league.
All right, now let's move on to international golf and Rory McIlroy. I mean, is he the next Tiger Woods? He's winning title after title. What's your take on him?
I think Rory has, ever since the breakup, the infamous breakup with the superstar girlfriend, Wozniacki, the tennis player, Rory has hit top form when it comes to, he has won 2 Masters titles, he has picked up 4 other titles. You know, he is right now the best player in golf. Being the next Tiger Woods, I don't think there will ever be another Tiger Woods. But he is, golf needs him to carry on that momentum, because this is a sport in dire need of a savior. Justin Rose is not at that standard. Once in a while, he's on and off form. So you feel Rory is the perfect player to go on and carry the golf flag for the next coming few years. And maybe with a few Grand Slams coming the way, Tiger Woods played well at the previous Open, so you would feel he can come back to challenge Rory, maybe for the money's sake, but Rory is up there. Justin Rose may be a second best to him. So it's an all-European thing in the golfing world right now.
Well, Arnold, thank you very much.
Thank you, Regis.
All right, you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's take a look now at news making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world. Prime Minister Anastase Murekezi called on the region's private sector to take a lead in enhancing service delivery of the bloc's health sector. He was speaking at the opening of the 4th conference of the East Africa Healthcare Federation held in Kigali. He said the private sector's role was crucial in implementing various programs such as health insurance schemes, quality clinical services, and investments in health infrastructure, among others. Through the sector's involvement, Rwanda has managed to establish 70 private pharmacies and more than 200 private health facilities, including 2 hospitals.
The National Women's Council has partnered with the Rwandan National Police to call for an end to gender-based violence. Officials say the institutions needed to work together in analyzing the challenges women face and encourage them to participate in the development of the country without facing any discrimination. Girls and women are the common victims of sexual assault and human trafficking across the world. The Women's Council serves as a social platform advocating for women's rights and gender equality.
In regional news, heads of state from the International Conference on the Great Lakes region have called for postponement of Burundi elections scheduled for June 26. The state officials met in Angola's capital, Luanda, to discuss the security and humanitarian situation in the Great Lakes region, with a special focus on Burundi, the Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Sudan. Officials called on the parties involved to refrain from violence and pursue dialogue. Rwanda was represented by Foreign Affairs Minister Louise Mushikiwabo.
Still on Burundi, President Pierre Nkurunziza sacked 3 cabinet ministers as protests resumed after last week's failed coup. The president's spokesman, Gervais Abayeho, denied that the dismissal of the defense, external relations, and trade ministers was linked to the coup attempt. The sacked MPs' replacements have already been appointed, including Emmanuel Nahumvukie as defense minister. Abayeho said Mr. Nkurunziza has a constitutional right to reshuffle his cabinet whenever he feels it is necessary.
Okay, more is still to come. Lifestyle is up next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Lifestyle now. Makeda, what do you have for us?
I have a super nice recipe for all the meat lovers.
Why do you keep doing this in the morning? It's not fair. It's...
Since Rise and Shine's very first few episodes, I've been trying to share typically fancy recipes with you that can be made at home with 100% local produce. And today is no different. I went to meet with the head chef of Grand Legacy Hotel to get a tasty filet mignon recipe that anyone can make with just a few tweaks. Take a look. It feels like here on Rise and Shine Rwanda, I'm always showing you different options for breakfast recipes. But you know what? Dinner is just as important. So today we're here at Grand Legacy Hotel and Chef Samuel is gonna let us know how we can make a really tasty and healthy dinner option. Chef Samuel, what are you gonna be cooking for us today?
I'm going to do mignon or beef fillet.
Okay, and this is with all local produce?
Yes.
Everything can be found?
Everything is local, can be found in Rwanda.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. We have onions, beef fillet, tomato, rosemary, paprika, butter, and salt. We have Maggi cubes, we have broccoli, carrots, and cauliflower. Those are the vegetables of the day. I want to marinate my beef. I'll use rosemary, salt, pepper, and a little bit of paprika. Then I'll add the oil and leave it for like 2 minutes for it to absorb the marination. This is the beef tenderloin. This one cooks faster. I'll be doing my sauce for the beef, which is Provençal sauce. This is my onion. I'll chop the onion. Yeah. That's butter. Onion. I let it cook a bit to tenderize. Then I put in my tomatoes. When it's cooked, the meat will be ready. A little bit of Maggi cube. Not too much, because when you put salt and you put Maggi cubes, there's a tendency of it becoming very salty, and I don't want to kill my guest with the salt. Then I'll put a little bit of water, because it's a sauce, for it to cook completely. As the beef is cooking, now I'm preparing myself to serve the beef. The meat is done. I put it on my plate, ready to serve. So I'll start my vegetables. They're the ones to guide me. Twig of rosemary. I'll put my concassé sauce.
Man.
So I hope that that's easy enough for people to just try at home, and you can get all of that stuff locally around your neighborhood. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't require that much. I mean, tomatoes, beef.
Onion, beef, some, magic cubes that are everywhere, salt. And you can kind of tweak the seasonings if you don't have those exact ones. It's very easy. And you can serve it with potatoes like you did there, or with rice, or anything you want.
Now, what made you want to do a report on filet mignon there? Is it because you've had it there before?
Well, actually, I had just spoken to the chef, and I didn't tell him what I wanted. I just said something that can be easy, that can be made with Rwandan produce, that we can all find locally, but something, nice, something a little bit fancy to spice it up a little bit. So that's what he came up with, and I think it was really good. We had it, me and the production assistant had it, and it was so
This
good.
is how mean she is, guys. She kept telling me you haven't seen the worst part yet. And it kept killing me. So when you see him doing that, how long did it take? Because now we're seeing the edited version, but how long did it take?
Yeah, you know what? It was actually very, very fast, because that day he had a lot of people that were in the hotel. So he said, I really want to do this thing with you, so let's just do it really, really quickly. I don't even think it was more than 15 minutes, to be honest, or 20 minutes, but with beef, and he made sure to say that, and I didn't put it in the report, but with beef, it's really not bad if it's a bit rare. You know what I mean? That's why they ask you if you want it rare or medium or well. So it's not as if it's not like it's chicken. If it's undercooked, you'll get sick. If it's rare, you can have it like that. You can cook it a little bit longer. So it really depends on how you like to have it. But it doesn't take a long time to make. It doesn't take a lot of things to make it. It's very easy. And you think, you know, some people when they hear filet mignon, you think that it's something all special
really mignon and it takes forever.
No, really, it's actually quite easy to do.
Have you tried making the dish yourself?
I haven't tried yet making the dish, but I want to try very soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that soon. So, you know, I feel like we're always talking about breakfast or different things like that. And I thought, you know what, we need a proper dinner recipe. Now, I want everyone there to tell me if actually, you know, you're interested in this. Do you like it when we do this kind of report? Because I'm not sure if people are actually doing the recipes. I remember,
and if after airing it, they actually go back home and try it. And then
so let me know. Let me know if you actually like these recipes, if you actually like doing them, and you know, I'll definitely keep on doing some more recipes for you because I definitely don't mind.
That was a great report. It's up there with your best. I like it.
Really?
Yes. I'm serious. I like that one.
Thank you very much, Regis. And don't forget that we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. We're always looking out for you. Like us on Facebook, send us ideas for programs, tag us in your photos, comment on, you know, our statuses. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports that we upload daily for you. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW, and follow us. We're always posting behind the scenes photos. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but we'd love to hear your feedback, so do let us know if you have an idea for the program. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahario. We'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow, so of course, please do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the beautiful Rise and Shine team, have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.